everyone, welcome to Story Time in Seacliff. And Oberon, remember, told us that he was the clue again. So that means it's going to be about a dog. And sure enough, how Rocket learned to read. And Rocket apparently is the dog, yes. All right, oh, look at this. Oh, I love this picture. Rocket loved to play. He loved to chase leaves and to chew sticks, and he loved to listen to the birds sing. Every fall morning, after chasing leaves, Rocket would lie down in his favorite spot under his favorite tree. And there he'd smell the neighborhood smells, and he'd settle in for a long nap. But one day, a little yellow bird startled Rocket. "Oh, my first student, wonderful," she sang. Rocket was confused. "Student, I'm not, but, if I am your teacher," the bird interrupted, "you must be my student." Rocket found it hard to argue with this bird. "I'm so glad you saw my sign," the bird chirped. "Oh yes, I can see it, but I don't know how to read." "You can't read? Fantastic! Welcome to my classroom," she said. I'm just here to nap," said Rocket. No, there'll be no napping in my class," said the bird, except, of course, during nap time. "Well then, I can take a nap over here," Rocket said. "I've had a very busy morning." "Not to worry, I'll be around every day until the weather turns." As Rocket breathed in the crisp air, the little yellow bird hung up her banner. "Oh, the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet," she said, "where it all begins." And there it is, the alphabet. Opening up a book, the bird began to read. She sang out the story of an unlucky dog named Buster who had lost his favorite bone. A cool breeze carried her lovely, lively voice across the yard. At first, Rocket was a bit disturbed, but before long he was captivated. Oh, the story was so wonderful. It became almost as exciting as chasing leaves. He closed his eyes and he listened to every word. As Buster dug and dug under the lilac bush, the bird read, he felt something familiar. Rocket waited. Was it the bone? Silence. Was it the bone? He called to the bird. More silence. Was it the bone? Rocket hollered. Suddenly he was rushing to the tree. Well, was it? But the little yellow bird was gone. Next morning he arrived early. There's the book. At last the little yellow bird appeared. "Hello. Oh, it's wonderful to see you in class," she said. "I can tell by your tail that you're in a good mood and well rested. I'd like to hear the end of the story about Buster, please." Well, that's a fine way to start the day. And she gave Rocket a name tag and began to read. Every day, Rocket returned to the classroom, and in the morning, the bird would teach him a new letter until he had learned all of the letters of the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet. Together, they would sing out the sounds that each letter made, and with a G and many R's, they spelled Mr. Barker's growl. Grrr. And then they spelled the sound of the wind that was growing colder. Ooh. Soon they were spelling words like fall and red, the colors of the leaves. And every afternoon, Bird would read a story. She read stories about dogs and birds, and she read about leaves changing and birds flying south for the winter. Then one day the weather turned and the letter banner with the alphabet on it disappeared. "See you again in the glorious spring," the bird sang. And as she flew into the wintry sky, she called out, "Don't forget, the words are built one letter at a time." Well, the days grew shorter and the leaves fell from the trees and the grass became crunchy, and soon Rocket's classroom disappeared under the snow. He remembered the little yellow bird's alphabet, and he practiced his letters. He did. And he thought about the bird's sweet chirping as he sounded out the words. D-I-G, dig, wind, W-I-N-D, cold. He made new friends, and he spelled their names, Emma and Fred. He spelled everything. And sure enough, the sun came out and things started to melt. And when Rocket spelled M-U-D from mud, he knew spring, as always, had returned. The breeze blew and the grass grew greener, and the sign appeared. Class starts tomorrow. Early in the morning, Rocket rushed to his classroom. As he waited, he spelled W-A-G for wag. And there was a sign, and it said, "Welcome back, Rocket." Soon the yellow bird arrived. "Oh, my star student, how wonderful. I can tell by your wagging tail you are ready for class." And then together they began to read. They read stories about birds flying north in the spring. They read about picnics in the warm sun. And they read about Buster, that lucky dog who found his bone under a lilac bush. And when they were done, they read it again and again, and A-G-A-I-N, again. And that's the end of the story of how Rocket learned to read. Lovely, wonderful story. Maybe you'll learn how to read, Oprah, or maybe you know already. Let's look at the birthday. I think we're going to sing to Hadley today. All right, Hadley, are you ready? I'm going to see what kind of cake you're having today, Hadley. The people in the group are, all right, here they are. Clara and Martha and Henry and Ben and Bee and Bevy, Emily and Nicholas and Rudy. That's all chocolate. For vanilla, we have Daniel and Paul and Joseph and Molly and Alice and Riley and Graham and let's see, do I have Audrey and Lily? I think I do right there, sure. I'm going to count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 for vanilla and 9 for chocolate. Okay, it's going to be a little bit more vanilla today. All right, and we're ready to sing to Hadley. Hadley is moving to England. So yeah, so it's kind of a farewell, and she's starting on a new adventure. All right, but we'll wish her well. We'll wish Hadley well. All right. Happy travels to you. Happy travels to you. Happy travels, dear Hadley. Happy travels to you. Okay. Thank you very much, Cameraman Dan. And Oberon has quite a large, here it is, look at this. This is his clue. Oh, it's one of our favorites. It's Mr. Bear. Wonder what the story's going to be about. All right, thanks, Oberon. And remember, everyone, I love you all very, very